de propiedad privada, pero de uso de la organización. Es decir, yo los pongo, esos bienes a la hora de crear la empresa, los pongo a disposición de la empresa, pero son míos. Siguen siendo míos. ¿De acuerdo? Una característica fundamental. Las SCPs no se pueden registrar en el registro mercantil. ¿Qué significa eso? Pues que técnicamente, por norma general, no son tratadas como sociedades. ¿Por qué? Porque no tienen personalidad jurídica. Cuidado, que esto es de forma habitual. Me explico. En las características que nos hemos puesto a las SCPs, os ponemos que es un contrato privado entre las partes. ¿Vale? Si es un contrato privado, no va a estar dada de alta en el registro. No va a tener personalidad jurídica. Ahora bien, si en la puesta en funcionamiento de la SCP se ponen a disposición de la sociedad lo que se llaman bienes raíces o bienes reales, entonces lo lógico es que haya un acuerdo que se le dé a escritura pública. Si se eleva ese acuerdo a escritura pública, entonces la SCP sí que tendrá personalidad jurídica propia. ¿Me he explicado bien? Es decir, por norma tradicional, por norma habitual, no tendrá personalidad jurídica propia porque es una empresa con unas características especiales. Tendrá la personalidad propia de los individuos. Para eso los individuos, los socios, se tienen que dar de alta en el registro de autónomos como autónomos empresarios. ¿Vale? Ahora bien, si elevamos ese contrato privado a público, uno, porque queremos, o dos, porque dentro de ese contrato privado se ponen a disposición de la sociedad derechos raíces o derechos reales, entonces lo que hacemos es tenemos la necesidad de elevar a público ese acuerdo privado y entonces la empresa sí que tendrá personalidad jurídica propia. ¿Vale? No, no es público. Habitualmente cuando tú firmas un contrato, los contratos son privados. En algunas circunstancias se hace lo que se dice llevarse a público. Entonces el llevarlo a público se firma ese contrato en notaría. ¿Vale? En este caso, cuando creas una SCP, tienes la opción de, uno, por propia voluntad, elevarlo a público, es decir, los socios acuerdan que el contrato no sea privado. Cuando es privado es oculto, solo implica a las partes que lo firman. Cuando vas a notaría significa que le das un barniz público, es decir, mostramos a la sociedad, porque el notario lo que hace es firmar, dar fe de eso, lo que haces es mostrar a la sociedad esa situación, ese contrato. ¿Vale? Lo que sí es cierto es que sin el la que forman en el momento de creación de la empresa, se ponen a disposición de la empresa bienes, derechos reales o derechos raíces, entonces sí que es obligado elevar a público ese contrato. Entonces, en el momento en que lo elevamos a público, la empresa sí que va a tener personas jurídicas. Derechos reales, ¿sí? Y derechos raíces. Y bienes raíces. Perdón. Cuando tú formas una empresa, una SPP, tú pones a disposición de la empresa una serie de elementos, sean monetarios, dinerarios o bienes. Hay una serie de bienes que son especiales. Los bienes raíces son los bienes que están en concordancia con la naturaleza, que tienen su razón de ser es la naturaleza. Por ejemplo, la propiedad de un terreno de cultivo. Esos son los que llaman bienes raíces. Raíces de que tienen raíces en la tierra. Y derechos reales es cuando tú pones a disposición una serie de bienes especiales. Bienes especiales. No son bienes especiales, son bienes que son propios míos, como el piso. ¿Vale? Y yo el piso lo puedo usar a nivel privado y lo puedo disfrutar a nivel privado, pero también lo puedo ceder y utilizar con ánimo de lucro. ¿Vale? Es un bien que tengo una propiedad y de la que disfruto de su propiedad, sea para uso o sea para comercio. Los bienes de los derechos reales es una persona que ejerce su derecho sobre una cosa que es propiedad suya. Entonces, como cuando montamos una SCP, yo pongo a disposición de la organización de la empresa una serie de bienes, una serie de derechos que son míos, entonces hay que dejar constancia de que efectivamente eso es mío y que lo único que hago es ceder el usufructo de ese bien a la ¿cómo se llama? A la empresa. ¿Vale? A ver, es un tipo de sociedad que prácticamente no se utiliza, es antiguo. Se utilizaba hace 15, 20 años porque es una forma muy rápida de crear una empresa, pero es una forma de empresa complicada. Es muy sencilla, pero luego da muchas complicaciones. Entonces lo que se hace, a ver, siempre que me han pedido opinión de hacerlo, yo siempre recomiendo que no se haga. Fíjate que estás poniendo a disposición de una empresa, una organización, en la que tú posees una parte proporcional de la propiedad, pones a disposición de la empresa bienes propiedad tuyos. Y luego, si las cosas van mal, respondes con todo tu patrimonio, de forma mancomunada y solidaria, de forma mancomunada y o solidaria de las catástrofes de la empresa. Bueno, entonces es complicado. Por ejemplo, aquí hay un contrato. No, la normativa te dice que no es necesario que haya un contrato. Si hay un acuerdo verbal, hay un acuerdo verbal. Pues eso de solicitar un contrato, firmar un contrato privado, porque no es un follón. Y cada vez están más en desuso este tipo de organizaciones. Encima desde el 2016, 15, 16, 17, a nivel fiscal están tratados como SPs, como sociedades de carácter mercantil, con lo cual pues sale más a cuenta crear una S. ¿Sí? Para que lo entendáis. Es muy sencillo. El anzuelo de este tipo de organizaciones, en este ordenamiento jurídico, es que es muy sencillo. De hecho, llegando a un acuerdo verbal con alguien, puedo notar. Los requisitos formales son mínimos. Pero luego, en el momento en que se crea la sociedad, el quehacer diario, con el quehacer diario surgen los problemas y al surgir los problemas, la protección del socio fundador es la misma protección que si fueras un autónomo. Con una diferencia. En el autónomo estás tú solo. Y yo soy responsable de mis actos cuando me equivoco. Pero son mis actos. En cambio, en el SFP yo puedo ser responsable de los actos de mi socio. No son mis actos. Y eso es complicado. ¿Vale? Los fijaros que aquí os pongo el contenido propio de lo que sería la firma de un contrato privado en la creación de una SCP. Pero estos son recomendaciones. No es obligatorio. No es obligatorio en que yo ponga la cantidad de dinero o la cantidad de bienes que pongo a disposición de la empresa. Fijaros el follón que puede ocurrir si no ponemos una cláusula en la cual se determine la cantidad de bienes y o dinero que ha puesto cada uno. ¿Vale? ¿Sí? En tercer lugar, tenemos las cooperativas. Las cooperativas ya es un tipo de sociedad de carácter mercantil. Y son lo que llamamos en el cuadro resumen que puse, es un tipo de sociedad mercantil de tipo social. ¿Qué significa de tipo social? Significa que en la formación de este tipo de organizaciones, el lucro no es lo más importante. Es importante, pero no es lo más importante. En las cooperativas, lo más importante es el elemento social. ¿Y eso qué significa? ¿Por qué remarco el elemento social por encima del lucro? Cuando estamos hablando ya de una sociedad de carácter mercantil, es una sociedad con personalidad jurídica propia, diferente a la personalidad propia de los socios fundadores o de los socios. ¿Qué significa una empresa con carácter social? ¿Qué significa una empresa que desarrolla su actividad bajo unos principios internacionales del cooperativismo? ¿Sabéis de dónde surgen las cooperativas? ¿Cuándo surgen? ¿Y dónde? Son cosas del campo. Muchas. Algunas, ¿no conoces ninguna más? ¿Red? Abacus. Me suena de la leche también. ¿Alguna más? Taxistas. ¿Os suena? ¿Alguna cooperativa de taxis? Los taxis Mercedes. No sé a qué te refieres, taxis Mercedes. ¿Qué significa taxi Mercedes? Ah, Mercedes. No sé si eso es una cooperativa o una empresa. No sé, tienes que mirar. Teletaxi es una cooperativa. Creo que sí. Creo. Pero mira, sé que hay cooperativas de taxi, pero no recuerdo. Pero bueno. ¿Veis alguna característica similar entre los taxis o la Abacus o las cooperativas del campo? Son diferentes autónomos. Cierto. Se intenta mantener una igualdad porque todos aportan recursos de manera. ¿Por qué? Taxista un taxi. Sí, no, Mark. Es cierto que técnicamente no hay un CEO, pero siempre hay alguien. Allí tiene que haber alguien que dirija. No, el fundador, no. O los fundadores. Habitualmente es un acuerdo entre varios. olvídate, Mar. Aunque es una sociedad de carácter mercantil, es una sociedad especial, ¿vale? Si vamos a los orígenes, lo entenderéis mejor. No, no pueden ir a bolsa. No van a ir a bolsa. De hecho, tiene una normativa específica para este tipo de organizaciones. Vale. Explicamos, si os parece, explicamos lo que es el origen de estas empresas, lo que es el... os pongo aquí de acuerdo con los criterios cooperativistas internacionales. Y explicamos el origen y lo entenderéis mejor. El origen de las cooperativas está a finales del siglo XIX, 1870. De hecho, se da un caso primigenio un siglo antes, en el siglo XVIII, ¿vale? Pero podemos hablar que el origen es en el siglo XIX, finales de 1870, en la Inglaterra de la Revolución Industrial, ¿vale? En la Inglaterra de la Revolución Industrial se da una serie de características y es un movimiento migratorio del campo a la ciudad, un movimiento masivo migratorio del campo a la ciudad. Las ciudades no estaban capacitadas para asumir todos los movimientos. ¿Y qué le pasa a la gente que va a las ciudades provenientes del campo? ¿Qué les pasa? Pues que como las ciudades no están habilitadas, surgen los guetos, ciertas zonas insalubres donde se hacina mucha gente que ha venido del campo y no tiene posibilidades económicas de conseguir una vivienda, ¿vale? A eso se le suma que es un proceso de crecimiento fabril, las fábricas crecen, hay muchos puestos de trabajo, hay mucha mano de obra. ¿Y qué pasa cuando hay mucha? Sí, ya volví con lo mismo. ¿Y qué pasa cuando hay mucha mano de obra? Salarios más bajos. Pero claro, tienes que aceptar ese salario porque tienes que vivir. Desde 1877, creo que era, o 70 o 67, más por ahí, en una pequeña localidad de Inglaterra, en unos trabajadores de telares, de ropa, tienen unos salarios tan míseros que con el salario no se pueden pagar ni siquiera, no pueden comprar alimentos. Entonces están trabajando por ni siquiera ese trabajo les garantiza la supervivencia. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que hacen? Pues un grupo de individuos de una misma localidad lo que deciden es juntarse y decir, si individualmente yo no puedo, aún trabajando, no puedo comprar arena, no puedo comprar pan, pues vamos a juntarnos porque si nos juntamos tendremos más poder. ¿Os suena lo de Porter de la fuerza del cliente o del proveedor? ¿Os suena? No, que tendría que sonar las 5 fuerzas de Porter. Pues lo que hacen estos trabajadores es eso, deciden juntarse y mediante esa unión intentar ir al mercado Inicialmente solo buscaban comprar productos básicos como mantequilla, azúcar o harina. No buscaban nada más. ¿A qué te refieres con su escala económica? Tienen la capacidad de ejercer más presión. Y el montante del dinero del que disponen es mucho. No. La diferencia es que la cooperativa tiene una razón social. Y eso nos juntamos varios individuos por el bien común nuestro. Buscamos nuestro bien. Las cooperativas agrarias, ¿qué son? Habéis dicho, a mí solo me suenan las cooperativas agrarias. ¿Qué es una cooperativa agraria? ¿Qué hace? Sí. ¿Y para qué se juntan? Para apoyarse. ¿Cierto? Cierto. Luego también en algunos casos se eliminan los intermediarios y ponen a la venta su producto a un precio que a ellos les sale bien económicamente porque obtienen beneficios y al cliente le sale bien porque es más barato en el mercado. Los principios cooperativistas internacionales es la asociación de individuos que buscan un bien común. ¿Sí? Por eso hablamos de sociedades mercantiles de carácter social. El lucro es importante, pero lo importante es ayudarnos entre nosotros. Son organizaciones basadas en los principios democráticos. ¿Qué son los principios democráticos? Definitivamente es, por ejemplo, la libre adhesión. Es lo que se llama la existencia de puertas abiertas. Puertas abiertas tanto para entrar como para salir. En segundo lugar, es la idea de un hombre, un individuo, un voto. ¿Vale? Que es compartir los beneficios en función del trabajo que tú hayas aportado a la cooperativa. Es velar por la educación y la formación de los cooperativistas. Y en síntesis es buscar el interés comunitario, social. ¿Vale? Es una cosa que me dejan las SCPs, que os lo comento ahora, que ahora me ha venido a la mente. En las SCPs uno de los socios puede no aportar ni dinero ni bienes. Lo que puede aportar es lo que se llama industria. ¿Qué significa industria? Significa que aportan trabajo. Con lo cual habría dos o más socios en los cuales uno aporta trabajo y el otro aporta capital. Vale, pues nosotros en las cooperativas aportamos unas actividades. Entonces recibiremos una compensación económica en función de la actividad que hayamos aportado. ¿Vale? Lo importante es que los elementos, los principios democráticos son los principios bajo los que se rige este tipo de organismos. Hay dos tipos de cooperativas, las de primer orden y las de segundo orden. ¿Qué diferencia hay? Pues la diferencia radica en los socios que la forman. En las de primer orden, los socios son personas físicas y el mínimo de socios requeridos es de 3. En las organizaciones, en las cooperativas de segundo orden, el mínimo de socios es 2 y está formado por otras cooperativas. Es decir, el mínimo número de socios son 2 cooperativas ya existentes. ¿Vale? Para poder acceder a una cooperativa tengo que aportar el capital social decidido, pero el capital social tengo que aportar la parte correspondiente al capital mínimo que me exigen los estatutos. ¿Vale? Ningún socio puede tener más del 33% de la sociedad, de la cooperativa. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no puede tener más del 33%? Porque se rige al principio democrático, no mayorías. Las mayorías hay que buscarlas, hay que negociarlas. Si uno tiene más del 33%, está próximo a obtener la mayoría. Y encima si consigue dividir al resto, ya tiene la mayoría. ¿Vale? Para poder entrar en la cooperativa, ese capital mínimo que tengo que aportar son los estatutos, tiene que estar totalmente suscrito y desembolsado. ¿Vale? Y las contribuciones que se van a hacer a las cooperativas serán las obligatorias para entrar y luego puede haber voluntarios. ¿Vale? Pueden ser reembolsables o no reembolsables, pueden ser en dinero o pueden ser no dinerarias. Si son no dinerarias, el problema es que estas contribuciones no dinerarias pasan a ser titularidad de la cooperativa, con lo cual evidentemente poca gente lo va a hacer. Una vez yo entro en la cooperativa, yo asumo la responsabilidad en función del capital que yo he aportado, ¿no? O sea, yo me hago responsable de la parte porcentual del capital que yo he aportado. Una vez he sido dada de baja de la cooperativa, a lo largo de los 5 años posteriores a salir de la cooperativa, todavía será responsable por las actuaciones en la cooperativa mientras yo era miembro de la misma. Así será responsable de la parte que era de mi propiedad. ¿Vale? Con lo cual será una responsabilidad limitada a lo que era mío. ¿De acuerdo? ¿Sí? ¿Qué es embolsar? Desembolsar. Totalmente suscrito y desembolsado. Desembolsado es que efectivamente haces el pago. No desembolsar, es desembolsar. No, no se dice desembolsar es. Bueno, primero, cuando se dice totalmente suscrito, digamos, y totalmente suscrito, ¿entendéis o no? ¿Sí? Bueno, sigo. Aquí tenéis todas las características que para el proceso de creación de las cooperativas, la certificación negativa, etcétera, etcétera, la depósito social, no voy a entrar, que ya me lo explicaréis vosotros, y la LTP, la JD, el impuesto de transmisiones jurídicas y actos jurídicos documentados. Esto es un impuesto de pagar, ¿vale? De hecho, cuando compras un piso, también tienes que pagar el impuesto de transmisiones patrimoniales y actos jurídicos. Órganos de gestión de la cooperativa. El máximo órgano de gestión es la Asamblea General, que es la reunión del conjunto de los cooperativistas, que es en donde se fija la política que va a llevar a cabo la cooperativa. Se certifican las cuentas de la misma y se aprueba o no el informe de gestión del mismo. Se nombra a los integrantes del Consejo de Gobierno o Consejo Rector, ¿vale? Para ser miembro del Consejo Rector tienes que ser cooperativista, tanto en cuanto es el órgano que representa a la cooperativa. Es nombrado y cesado por la Asamblea General. En tercer lugar tenemos los interventores de cuentas. Son unos auditores, que lo que hacen es velar por el correcto funcionamiento de la cooperativa. Verifican, consultan, comprueban toda la documentación económica, financiera, administrativa y legal de la organización para velar por el correcto funcionamiento de la misma. Es decir, que no nos apartamos nada. Y luego tenemos los de recursos. Este organismo no es de obligado cumplimiento, es de cooperativas que no lo tienen. Si los estatutos lo determinan que exista, existirá. ¿Y qué es lo que hace? Pues su función es tramitar y resolver los conflictos que pueda haber entre socios, entre cooperativistas, y las sanciones, si dado el caso se necesitan implementar algo. ¿Vale? ¿Cuál es el problema de las cooperativas? ¿Cuál creéis que es el problema? Si es que tiene alguno. ¿Puede tener algún problema? Bien. Tienes la puerta abierta para salir. Con lo cual no te impiden tu desarrollo individual. Si tú estás en una cooperativa es porque te interesa. No, es otro problema. No, tú aportas actividad. Tu actividad como cooperativista. Y recibirás los beneficios en función de lo que tú hayas aportado. Si no hay trabajadores y tú trabajas más, cobrarás más. ¿No veis ningún problema? ¿No le veis ningún problema? Un hombre o un voto. ¿Eso es un problema? Pregunto. ¿Eso es un problema? ¿Un hombre, un voto? son lentas. Vale, pero el problema de un hombre un voto no es la lentitud en este caso, que también, pero no es. Son organizaciones que tienden a ser obsoletas. Obsoletas. Siempre cada uno va a votar por sus intereses, es evidente. Pero aunque tú votes por tus intereses y te pones en una organización como esta, es que compartes, sino casi todos los intereses de la organización. Si se vota más con alguien, no se tomen riesgos. No tiene por qué. No, mira, un hombre, un voto. ¿Vale? No hay ningún socio que pueda tener más de un 33% de las participaciones de la propiedad de la obra. Es decir, yo puedo tener un peso relativo de 1% y vosotros podéis tener el 50%. No va a haber inversor. Para ser inversor, para formar parte de la cooperativa tienes que tener unas características. No confundas, Mar, no es una SL, no es una SA. Aquí no va a haber socios inversores. Tú para formar parte de una cooperativa vas a tener en común muchas características con el resto de socios. Vale, el problema es un hombre un voto. Yo tengo el 1%, vosotros tenéis el 5%. Pero a la hora de votar, un individuo tiene un voto. No se tiene en cuenta la propiedad que tiene cada uno. Con lo cual yo he aportado más. Vosotros habéis aportado más dinero que yo. Pero nuestro voto es el mismo. Tiene el mismo peso. Por eso se rige bajo el principio democrático de un hombre un voto. Un individuo un voto. Sí, pero perjudica a la gente. ¿Es eso justo? Sí. Pero a lo mejor el grande es el que tiene la capacidad para hacer más inversión. Para poner más actividad, más trabajo. consolas que los beneficios sean iguales o no, eso da igual. El problema es que si yo aporto más que tú, pero a la hora de decidir tenemos el mismo peso, pues yo no voy a aportar más. ¿Entiendes? Con lo cual, el principio democrático bajo que se rige está muy bien, pero a la hora de la gestión diaria, pues tienden que las empresas sean obsoletas, porque voy a aportar más. Os vais a beneficiar de mi aportación y yo no voy a tener ningún poder de decisión. Solo va a crecer por la aparición de nuevos cooperativistas. Y habitualmente el nuevo cooperativista lo que va a aportar es el mínimo establecido por los estatutos, habitualmente. Porque el beneficio que tú obtendrás estará en función de tu aportación a la actividad de la cooperativa. ¿Vale? ¿Sí? Y luego ya entramos en las sociedades mercantiles capitalistas, que están sujetas, ahora sí, al Código de Comercio, al derecho mercantil. Buscan el lucro, ¿vale? Y mediante el proceso de creación de estas organizaciones, al igual que en la SCP puede ocurrir con las cooperativas, sí existe, las organizaciones mercantiles tienen personalidad jurídica propia, diferente a la de los otros. Al aparecer una personalidad jurídica propia significa que aparece un sujeto con derechos y obligaciones propios, cuya finalidad, como en todas las organizaciones, es el lucro, el beneficio, como tal. ¿Vale? Pues cuidado que la cooperativa también tiene personalidad jurídica propia, pero aunque el lucro es un objetivo fundamental, el rasgo característico de las cooperativas, el rasgo fundamental es que es una empresa de carácter social y con un desarrollo democrático. ¿Vale? Las sociedades de carácter mercantil de tipo capitalista tienen una serie de características. Son un código de comercio, las podemos resumir en estas cuatro. Es una asociación de individuos. Es una asociación voluntaria. Es decir, nadie me puede obligar a formar parte de la creación de una organización. Esta asociación voluntaria viene determinada con el fin de, aquí lo he puesto en castellano porque en inglés no sabía ponerlo con el significado que tiene. Es una asociación voluntaria con el objetivo de crear, realizar actos de comercio. Que los actos de comercio son actos privados, son actos de naturaleza privada que buscan crear, transferir, modificar o extinguir derechos y obligaciones con el fin de obtener beneficios. Para ello, para que pueda realizar actos de comercio, le vamos a otorgar una persona jurídica diferente, propia de la organización, diferente a los individuos. ¿Vale? ¿Y cómo conseguiremos esta personalidad jurídica y realizar estos actos? Pues aportándole un patrimonio, un capital, es decir, una capacidad económica para poder iniciar todo el proyecto empresarial. ¿Vale? Entonces el ordenamiento jurídico me va a determinar un patrimonio determinado, un capital social que voy a tener que aportar inicialmente para poder formar una organización. ¿De acuerdo? Todas las organizaciones de carácter mercantil, de una forma u otra, tienen estas características. Las cooperativas también, evidentemente, asociación voluntaria de personas que hace actos de comercio, con personalidad jurídica propia y con un patrimonio propio. Patrimonio propio diferente del de los socios. ¿Ok? Muy bien. Empecemos por la más sencilla, la más rápida y la más pequeñita, que son las sociedades de responsabilidad limitada, las S. En las sociedades de carácter mercantil, la SLSA, la responsabilidad ya no es del individuo. Las cooperativas tampoco. En los del socio ya no es una responsabilidad ilimitada, sino que nuestra responsabilidad como socios se circunscribe a nuestra participación en la organización. ¿Vale? Con lo cual tenemos oportunidad de crear una empresa con una responsabilidad limitada a mi participación, que no afecta a mi patrimonio personal. ¿Sí? Para poder montar una SL, el número mínimo de socios es 1. Yo puedo montar una SL sin necesidad de contar con nada. Para ello, necesito la aportación de un capital social inicial de 3.000 euros. Pueden ser contribuciones dinerarias o no dinerarias. En el caso de que para aportar estos 3.000 euros ponga encima de la mesa cosas que no sean dinero, estas cosas tendrán que ser valoradas económicamente. Me explico. Capital social mínimo 3.000 pavos. Pero vosotros saco 3.000 euros del banco, los pongo encima de la mesa y ya está. O como no los tengo, digo, pues mira, tengo mi portátil, mi móvil, no sé qué más. Y esto vale 3.000 pavos. Pues no. Tendrá que venir alguien, un especialista, que valore si efectivamente la suma de los bienes que tú pones encima de la mesa llega a esos 3.000 pavos. Esto es importante. Si os pongo el coche, pongo el móvil y pongo el portátil. Bueno, ¿cuánto está por el coche? A lo mejor el coche no, el valor residual del coche es 0. ¿Sí? ¿Me seguís o no? capital, esos 3.000 pavos, tienen que estar totalmente suscrito y desembolsado antes de iniciar el negocio. ¿Vale? Y ese capital será distribuido en lo que conocemos como participaciones. Las participaciones son partes alícuotas del capital, todas iguales. ¿Y esto qué significa? Pregunto, ¿qué significa? El capital social inicial, los 3.000 pavos, tienen que estar totalmente suscrito y desembolsado. Y una vez totalmente suscrito y desembolsado, se repartirá en participaciones. Y las participaciones son partes alícuotas iguales del capital. Me preguntas, ¿qué significa todo este rollo? ¿No? Gracias. Vale, vayamos por partes. 3.000 pavos. Te puedo aportar en dinero o en bienes, ¿vale? Totalmente suscrita y desembolsada. Desembolsada es pagada. Y suscrita significa que si hay varios socios, tiene que estar determinado qué aporta cada uno, ¿vale? De esos 3.000, 1.000 los ha puesto A y 2.000 los ha puesto B. Suscrita es con nombre. Una vez que se ha puesto el nombre a al desembolso que ha realizado cada uno, entonces esos 3.000 euros se dividen en participaciones. Las participaciones es algo parecido, y no igual porque es muy diferente, a las acciones. Es decir, por ejemplo, vamos a ejemplos sencillos. Ponemos 3.000 pavos entre dos personas, o entre tres. Cada uno aporta 1.000 euros en la creación de esa empresa. Entonces decimos, dividimos esos 3.000 euros de capital social en 3.000 participaciones. ¿Cuánto vale cada participación? ¿Cuánto vale? Sí. Vuelvo a repetir. Somos tres. Cada socio pone 1.000 euros. ¿Vale? Hemos creado la empresa y decimos, la empresa tiene 3.000 euros de capital social. Cada socio ha puesto 1.000 euros. Y decidimos dividir esos 3.000 euros de capital social en 3.000 participaciones. ¿Cuánto vale cada participación? Entonces cada socio tiene 1.000 participaciones. Entonces la participación es la parte alícuota del capital. Es la división que hacemos del capital en partes iguales. En este caso, tendríamos 3.000 participaciones a razón de €1 cada vez. Sí, pero da igual. Imagínate que somos 3 socios, un socio pone 2.000 y los otros 2 ponen 500 euros. Pues un socio tendrá 2.000 participaciones y los otros 2 socios entre los dos tendrán 1.500 cada uno. El valor de cada participación es el mismo. Pero si tienes 2.000 participaciones, tienes 2/3 partes de la propiedad, el socio mayoritario. Las participaciones tienen que tener el mismo precio, el mismo valor. Otra cosa es el número de participaciones que tú tengas. 1 y 2. La otra característica fundamental de las participaciones son personales. No se pueden vender libremente. Esas son las acciones. A ver, técnicamente, si la empresa va bien, el valor de la participación se incrementará. Pero aquí lo importante, el valor aquí es la posesión. Si yo tengo 2.000 participaciones, tengo la parte mayoritaria de 2.000 euros, pero si la empresa va muy bien y la vendemos de aquí a unos años, cuando hagamos la valoración de esa empresa, sabremos que esas participaciones valen, en vez de 2.000 euros, 50 millones. ¿Vale? Porque hay un fondo de comercio, etc. ¿Sí? Lo que es importante es que esas participaciones no se pueden vender libremente. Para venderlas te necesitas realizar todo un proceso determinado. Se divide todo y todos tienen la misma. Todos tendrían una determinada participación, un determinado peso. No, pues uno tendría el 33,34. De hecho, esa división que tú haces no es lo más adecuado. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no es lo más adecuado? Ese 33,3 o ese 50-50. Porque hay que tomar decisiones. Y si cada uno tiene un 33%, significa que para tomar cada decisión tenemos que negociar en todas y cada una de las decisiones. Entonces el proceso de gestión de la empresa se garantiza. No, se puede ver rápido. O que aporte lo mismo, pero luego a la hora de los estatutos o de los acuerdos privados que se han desarrollado entre las partes, determinar alguna otra cosa en el modelo de gestión. Y todas las decisiones, bajo qué mayoría se toman, etcétera. Porque si no, al final, en esta situación de todo repartido a partes iguales, lo que repercute en una gestión lenta, muy lenta y difícil. ¿Vale? Lo que me interesa que sepáis que las participaciones no son acciones, son diferentes. Las participaciones no se pueden vender libremente. Si yo quiero salir de la empresa, me tendré que tener uno a los pactos privados que hayamos eh, firmado previamente. ¿Os acordáis del tracadón, el cazadón y los cláusulas de salida que puede haber en ese contrato privado? Uno. Y dos. Y dos. A lo que pongan los estatutos de creación de la ESPAñOL. Y por norma general lo voy a poner en los estatutos. Si yo quiero salir de la empresa, lo que tengo que hacer es, en primer lugar, anunciarlo de forma formal a la empresa. Se pone por escrito y se da un margen de 15 días para que los socios que quedan en la empresa tengan la posibilidad de comprarme mis participaciones. Y una vez han pasado esos 15 días y ningún socio quiere comprarme mis participaciones, entonces se abre otro proceso durante el cual le damos 15 días más para que sea la propia empresa la que me compre mis participaciones. ¿Vale? Entonces, si ya pasa esos 15 días y la empresa tampoco quiere mis participaciones, entonces ya podemos abrir el abanico ante la posibilidad de vender mis participaciones a un tercero ajeno a la empresa. Y todo eso, en función de los contratos que hemos firmado, a lo mejor para ofrecer mis participaciones a un tercero, a lo mejor tiene que ser conocido. Muy diferente. No, fíjate, una cosa es que tú tengas las participaciones en el grupo de clase. Cada uno tenga un 5% de la participación del grupo, y otra cosa es que nos vayamos 10 personas y esas 50% se repartan entre las personas que quedan en clase o se la quede la clase en su conjunto. Es diferente. El dinero no sale de tu bolsillo, sale del bolsillo de la empresa. ¿Y por qué se da esta situación? ¿Por qué se da esta situación? ¿Por qué creéis que se puede dar? ¿Por qué hay estas medidas de protección? Tienes razón, sigue siendo, si le pasa las participaciones son propiedad de la empresa, sigue siendo propiedad de los socios, pero no es lo mismo. Es la propia empresa la que tiene participaciones de sí misma. Es diferente. ¿Por qué se da este tema? Porque lo que busca el ordenamiento es la protección de la empresa. Porque aunque sea una empresa mercantil, una sociedad mercantil de carácter capitalista, son sociedades en que el conocimiento del individuo es importante. No es tanto como las de carácter personalista, como pueden ser las comunitarias o las colectivas, pero aquí sí que es importante. ¿Vale? Y lo que buscamos es la permanencia de la empresa. Entonces, repito, no es lo mismo que tú pases de una participación del 5% al 50%, entonces te conviertes en socio mayoritario, a que ese 40% se reparta, se lo quede la empresa. Con lo cual no es de ninguno de los socios, es de la empresa. Por ejemplo, esto puede ser un buen mecanismo de protección de la empresa cuando hay un socio con el que no estamos de acuerdo. Entonces le proponemos salir de la empresa, se le paga su parte y ningún socio se la queda. ¿Vale? Pues esas participaciones pasan a cargo a ser propiedad de la propia organización. Que luego a la larga pase a propiedad de alguien, eso ya es otra cosa. ¿Vale? Bueno, aquí tenéis todo el procedimiento que ya me explicaré vosotros, el depósito bancario, el registro administrativo, etcétera, etcétera. Recordar que hay la posibilidad y es recomendable la firma de un contrato privado previamente con las cláusulas de protección, de gestión y de salida de la organización. Y luego tenemos los diferentes órganos que tiene la empresa. ¿Vale? Los órganos de gestión. En primer lugar hablaremos del administrador. El administrador es un individuo nombrado por la empresa. Puede ser socio o no. La empresa no tiene por qué ser socio. En todo caso, si no es socio, estará dado de alta como autónomo en el régimen de autónomos que gestionan empresas. ¿Vale? Se encargará de la gestión, de la administración de una empresa, del día a día. Es nombrado y es cesado por la Junta General. Y el ordenamiento jurídico impone una serie de limitaciones porque no todo el mundo puede ser administrador. ¿Vale? ¿Qué limitaciones? ¿A qué te refieres con poderes, Marc? Cuando hablamos de si hablas de poderes como representación, sí, es el que representa a la empresa. Sí. Es el que la gestiona. Es el que firma. Sí. Por eso no todo el mundo está capacitado para serlo. Por eso el ordenamiento jurídico nos impone una serie de limitaciones. Por ejemplo, un menor de edad no puede ser un administrador de una sociedad. Por ejemplo, un incapacitado según ley concursal, repito, incapacitado según ley concursal no puede ser un administrador. Esto de incapacitado según ley concursal nos preocupa, lo veremos la semana que es un incapacitado según ley concursal. Un condenado por virtud firme, sentencia firme, por pasear en la administración de una organización, por delitos contra la libertad, contra el patrimonio, contra la seguridad, tampoco pueden ser administradores. ¿Sigo, Mark? Vale. Los administradores, hay diferentes formas de tener un administrador. La habitual es el administrador único. Es una sola persona física que actúa como administrador. Actúa sobre la ley, tiene que estar, es el que gestiona la organización, tiene que estar pendiente de los números, tiene que respetar las obligaciones de la empresa, así como hacer respetar los derechos de la misma, tiene que garantizar la confidencialidad de la información de la empresa, etcétera, etcétera. Luego es responsable por la falta de diligencia en la actuación, por los actos ilícitos, etcétera. Este es el típico del responsable, el administrador 1. Se pueden dar la situación de que no haya un administrador, hay allí varios administradores. Entonces, cuando hay varios administradores, estos pueden actuar de forma solidaria o de forma mancomunada. ¿Vale? De forma, para que lo entendáis, de forma solidaria es cuando cedemos la administración de la empresa a varios administradores y teóricamente tendrían que ir coordinados, pero si no van coordinados, cada uno actúa bajo su responsabilidad y sus actuaciones obligan a la empresa. ¿Me explico? Lo lógico, cuando se forman varios administradores que actúan de forma solidaria, es hay diferentes individuos, cada uno se ocupa de un área y sus actuaciones generan responsabilidad por parte de la empresa. ¿Esto es bueno? Si están coordinados, sí. Si están divididos y cada uno se divide el trabajo, sí. Si hay buena fe, sí. ¿Por qué? Porque es una forma de gestión muy ágil, muy veloz. Depende. Porque, de hecho, no tiene por qué. La mayoría no suelen ser administradores. El administrador de una sociedad tiene mucha responsabilidad. Mucha. Entonces se intenta que sean profesionales. No, no tiene por qué, pero es cierto que el responsable de la gestión es el administrador. Fíjate todas las responsabilidades, incumplimiento de contratos, falta de pago de las administraciones, tiene que presentar las cuentas anuales, actos ilegales, ¿vale? La responsabilidad es tremenda. Todos los efectos legales no van al administrador, muchos. Si la ley incumple si la empresa incumple la ley, la incumple porque es el administrador que gestiona. ¿Vale? Si tú como administrador, tus socios dicen no, por ejemplo, no hay que pagar impuestos, pues entonces tú lo que haces es dimitir. Vale, no firmar. La empresa no va a realizar ningún acto ilícito sin la firma del administrador, que es el responsable. Y si esa firma está copiada, pues entonces no es responsable. Aquí hay otro delito de suplantación de identidad. Para que lo entendáis, el administrador es el presidente del gobierno. Sí. Si el administrador firma lo que le digan, sea legal o ilegal, pues sí, la empresa seguirá funcionando. Otra cosa es que entonces la empresa y el administrador incurren en delito. Y cada uno tiene sus responsabilidades. Sí, sí. Aquí paso al cuarto, lo tengo que dejar. Nos vemos, nos quedamos en la administración solidaria y seguimos la semana que viene. Viernes no, es festivo. Ok, buen fin de semana. Hasta luego. Cuidaros.
Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me? Good morning. Hello, hello.
Bombs are key.
Nice. Santiago, today you're presenting? Okay, that's good. Today it's about video, ain't it?
Credit card.
Oh, nice. That's a very interesting topic.
Credit card. Judgment.
Yeah, Santi, please, could you send me the links? Yeah, send me the link to the repo or to the web page. Oh, okay. Okay, Santi, let me check it. Okay, okay, let me see. Research. Video player. Very good. Very good. Okay. Hello, Angel.
Credit.
Good morning, Aitor. Hi, Fran. So, we are almost there. Have to take note on the list. Okay. So, everybody here? Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah? Nice, nice. Okay, first of all, I have to share something with you. Check. Can you see that? Everybody? Can you see that? Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, this document is not shared yet because I'm waiting for Mark review. It could be some addition maybe or maybe not, but I'm just showing it to you in case you want to take a look. Well, actually, it's the alpha assignment, and here you got all the points that will be required for the next presentation, right? Well, basically, what I did was picking up the points that you got. Those points are the ones that had a tick. They were supposed to be completed by now, but maybe if there was some point missing in the last presentation in the vertical slice, you got it here in the list. And for this next presentation, you have to just fill the points that have the checkbox, you see. Okay. And yeah, actually, it's I've been following the global checklist that you have on GitHub. I think there are some points that will be added to that list because, well, there was some missing elements, but yeah, no, don't worry, Mark, it's not a big deal. Well, what you have to do is just implement some animations, logo screen, title scene, some improvements, are mostly a fancy details. The options scene that some of you already had some options scene. Yeah. And yeah, in the gameplay, you have to improve some of the elements and yeah, implement the fog of war, some quests, dialogues. Yeah. They implement the fog of war in the mini map, the pose. So some of you already implemented some of those things. More sounds and yeah, morely details with music and animations, and that's it. So this document is the submission rules. It's kind of the same that the other time, that yeah, the previous presentation, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, Mark is reviewing this document, so you can expect maybe some additions in the gameplay scene. And yeah, hopefully we'll share that document in the following days. Yeah, but you got the idea, right? Okay. Yeah, that's it. It's I just note that I keep in the document the all checkpoints just for your reference, so you can check what you have or what you don't have, and just keep adding the new things for the new release. Okay, yeah, and that's it. So, yeah, that's for now. I will share with you a couple of other things at the end of the class, but now I think it's time to start with the list and the presentation. That today it's a very, very, very interesting presentation. Okay, let's see. Any questions, by the way? Class assistance. Here we go. Today, '28th of April. Wow, that's crazy. Mm. 28. So let's start. Marc Ariza, Jordi Bach, Tomás Carreras, Guillem Duran, Albert Espinosa, Jordi Espriu, Pau Fiol, Marc Gallardo, Enrique. Okay. Enrique Guillem. No Enrique Guillem. Okay. Pau Fiol. No Pau Fiol. Okay. Marc Gallardo. No Marc Gallardo. Okay. Ángel González, Francisco Guerrero, Nuria La Monja, Nuria, Alex López, Aitor Luque, Adrián Mirabel, Santiago Moliner, Pau Pedra, David, Miquel Quintana, David Rami, Albert Robles, Gerard Romeu, Pau has internet issues. Okay, Gerard Romeu, Pau Fiol. Oh, Pau Fiol. Who else? Daniel Ruiz, Marc San José, Óscar Tarrés, Guillem Turmo, Óscar Tarrés, Oriol Sabaté, Guillem Turmo 2. Wait. Guillem Turmo 2. Why, Guillem? Why you are Guillem Turmo 2? Okay. Oscar Tarrés. Oh, Oriol Sabater. No, Oriol Sabater. Víctor Nisa. Yeah. Bernat Moreno, David Gómez. Bernat Moreno. Okay. So, okay. Okay. Very good, Victor. Never lose hope. Mar Gallardo. Mark. Okay. By the way, Mark, last week you failed in one of the quick time events. You know? Who else? Guillem Enrique. Wait a second here. Okay. Enrique. Oh, the server. Yeah. Lately, a lot of people is having internet connection problems. I think that lines are kind of saturated everywhere. I'm also having some connection problems here. Never mind. So yeah. So. Enrique Guillem. Okay. So I think it's only Thomas missing that he's trying to connect. So yeah, no worries. So today, Santiago, where you are? Santiago, you are presenting today, aren't you? You got the role. So Santiago is presenting today about a very interesting topic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Santiago, we can hear you, yeah.
Hello. Okay, nice.
So wait a second, Santiago. Wait a second.
Yes.
So.
Spades. 48-hour energy.
Santiago Molière video play. Actually, this is a bit complex topic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting. So we got it. So, yeah. Are you ready, people? Class, are you ready? Santi, are you ready?
Yes.
So we're ready. Okay, you can start.
Okay. So my name is Santiago Modiner, and I'm going to be presenting you the interesting and complicated topic of video playing inside our video games.
Very good.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to define some basic topics like what it is video playing. It is very simple, obviously. It's when we reproduce a video file inside of our video games. And There are different types of categories of videos that we can reproduce inside of our games, but I wanted to emphasize on the category of rendering. Depending on when we render the video, you have two types of videos: the real-time rendering and the pre-rendered videos. So real-time cutscenes, we could call them, are used with are videos that are using the in-game engine and are using all the features of this engine. So the game doesn't really change when we play one of these videos, and we could say that it is more immersive for the player because it doesn't change the graphical style of the game, and it is very fluid inside of the games. But what we are going to be focusing on today are pre-rendered cutscenes. That means video playing that have already been rendered in another machine. So it's just like reproducing an AVI file inside of our video game. So these ones are really complicated to implement inside of our games, and I'm going to explain you later on why it is so complicated. And are mainly used inside video games, a lot of video games, mainly for storytelling, and are not widely used during the game, are mostly used, for example, in intros for the games, and that sort of stuff for storytelling mainly. So I wanted also to show you a demonstration of what it is exactly that it is pre-rendered and real-time video. And this is an example of the game Dark Souls. I don't know if you have heard of it. Probably yes. And here we have the character selection, character creation of our character. And as soon as the game starts, we would have a pre-rendered cutscene. As you can see, the quality, I'm going to fast forward a bit, the quality of the video, it's much higher because it's not using the real-time, it's not using the in-game engine to reproduce this file, and it's already rendered in another machine. Here we're just reproducing the video file. And as you can see, it has nothing to do with the in-game engine. But as soon as we start the game, we have an example of a real-time rendering scene. And as you can see, this is much closer to what the real game looks like, because it is obviously using the real-time engine. And one advantage, as I said, it is more immersive for the player because it is just playing with the camera angles, and as it is using the in-game engine, we can, for example, see our character as it really is inside of our game. For example, in the character selection, we chose him with this type of armor. So here in the cutscene, we would see him in this armor or suit because he's using the game. So that's what I wanted to show you. And okay, so it is easy to implement. Absolutely not. Most developers that I talk to and students from other years have told me that it is, if it's not really necessary for your game to have a video, then sometimes it's not worth it. And if you are in a company and want to reproduce videos like the ones I showed you, it is very complicated and has a lot of legal aspects that I'm going to talk you about later. And I'm going to explain you what are codecs, what are containers, and all this stuff. So one key important aspect of video playing are codecs. Codecs, as the word says, it's an encoder and decoder of information. Here we have in this image a representation of what a codec does. We have the original data that would be, for example, a video that we recorded on our phone. The codec with the encoder feature would compress the video and make it much smaller and much easier to handle. So we could then later decompress it and see the original footage with minimal loss of information. There are different type of codecs, and most of the difference between them resides on the loss of information. because you will lose information when you encode any type of video, but depending on what type of codec do you use, you will have more or less loss of information. So this is what you probably heard of when you use video files, that it's a container. A container is commonly mistaken for a codec, but it is not. A container is what it's, well, the AVI file, the MP4, what you are most familiar with. As I said, it is not a codec. Inside a oh, sorry, what?
No, that's good. That's very good.
Okay. Inside a container, we have, well, as the word suggests, it's like a package, and inside we have different types of information. We have the video stream, the audio stream, and the metadata. The video stream would be the information that has been coded by a codec previously, and the audio stream it's also coded by well, it has also been compressed, sorry, by a codec. The problem resides that these two may actually be encoded with different types of codecs, so that makes a lot of tricky situations and a lot of complicated. And metadata, it's for example, some AVI files include subtitles. That's the kind of data that the metadata contains.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to talk you about the main codecs that I'm going to talk you about the codec ecosystem, because there are a lot of types of codecs inside, well, in the world, and so each one of them has a different purpose. The most important one, I think, for the most important one for the video game industry, it's Bing Video. It's developed by Rat Game Tools, and it's the most commonly used codec used for playing videos in video games. It is being used in more than 7,000 games and in 14 different platforms, so it's very commonly used.
Why?
Oh, sorry?
Okay, no worry. Later I ask you some things. Continue, please.
Yes, some of the games, just to mention them, are Gears 5, Far Cry 5, Call of Duty World War II, just to name a few of the important ones. The problem that comes with Bing Video is the price. You have to pay a license for it. That it's 8,500 per platform and also per game. So it can be really taxing for a small company, indie company that wants to develop a game in different types of platforms, because you have to pay this license the times that you wanted to pay for the different platforms that you want to use. But for people who want to play a lot of video in CPU taxing situations, can still choose to integrate Bing. The price and effort, it's worth it. That's why it's most used.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would have H.264, that it's the most popular commercial codec. It is used in Blu-ray players, video cameras, iTunes, YouTube, just to name a few, the most important video playing sites. And the problem that comes with H.264, if you want to develop games with it, is that it comes with a lot of patents. Patents that need to be licensed if you want to use H.264 without risking a lawsuit, because if they find out that you used some patent to reproduce this type of video inside your game, yes, you're risking a lawsuit, and a lot of companies have been involved in this type of situation. And it is very tricky to tiptoe your way around all these patterns and create your own. So most people just buy a license that from an entity known MPEGLA that has like a license pool where you can find a lot of patterns that you can use for your coding. Then we have WP8, also known as WebM. WebP8, it's a free video codec owned by Google. It is also covered with patents, the same as the previous one, but Google has granted free use of these patents and also provides free license for the libraries that encode and decode these video files. So it is very handy for anyone that wants to have a lot of quality, in their videos, and don't want to go through the trouble of all the licensing of the H.264. The problem is that it's commonly known to have a little bit less quality. That means that there's a little bit more loss of information in the coding and decoding process. So for anyone who wants to maximize the video quality, this is maybe not the coder for them, but the handy thing, as I said, is that it has a free license. And then we would go to the platform-specific codecs. That is another approach to video playing. You don't have to develop an independent library, but instead use the video playing capabilities that inherit your operating system, the platform. For example, Windows has Windows Media Foundation, and Mac OS has QuickTime. The biggest advantage is that on low-end platforms, using the built-in platform libraries can give you access to special video decoding hardware. For example, many phones have built-in H.264 decoding hardware. This means that you can play nearly any video for free, something that otherwise would be very costly on a low-end CPU. But also, these platform-specific codecs have some drawbacks. If you target many platforms, you have to work cut off of your integration all the different video playing backends for all the different platforms that you want to implement next. So it adds a lot of additional work when you want to implement it in different platforms. Okay, so now we would get to the video player that I created.
Okay.
It reads an AVI file, and it uses the video for Windows library. Here I have a little sketch that I created to explain the main algorithm that goes through the video player.
Santiago, excuse me.
Yeah.
Just before continuing, can you go back some slides?
Yes. How many?
Another? Okay. Yeah. You are missing one big codec actually on the list, but yeah, continue. No worries.
Okay.
No worries.
X, the codec that you.
No, I'm referring to the Theora.
Yeah, I looked about it.
So, lots of engines like Unity integrate that.
Oh, okay. I knew about it. I saw that Theora was one of these codecs, but I didn't realize that it's also used in video games. So my fault.
Actually, Unity. Last time I checked, Unity was integrating Theora.
Okay, Theora. Okay.
Actually, it's probably the best alternative to Bing Video.
Okay.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, the video player that I integrated, it has this algorithm that I implemented. You first get the AVI file from your assets. Open the file and read information about each stream, the different information that it has. Decompress the AVI into frames. And here's the main loop that will go through the update. It is, you have to, you ask the machine if it's on the current frame. If the current frame is the last frame of the animation. If the answer is no, you get the data from the video and convert it into a bitmap format. Then with this bitmap format, you create a surface and a texture with this data. So with these textures, you just print this texture and go through the loop again. Once the current frame is the last frame, you just have finished and you have reproduced the video file.
There is some gotcha in that diagram. I mean, you miss some important details, but yeah, continue.
Okay, sure. Here are the main functions that I used in the video module. So we have the open AVI. That means that it opens an AVI file and reads its stream data. The initialize function, that it's whenever we want to call the video player, it will call the open AVI file. So whenever we want to reproduce this video inside of our game, you just call this function with the path of the AVI file. The grab AVI frame, it's what it's called in the main loop, that get the frame data and makes the surface and the textures, and then inside this function we also bleed this texture to the screen. And the close AVI will free all the memory that we have used during this process.
Very good, quite clean API. I like it.
Here are the variables that we are going to use. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, as you will see. First of all, we have to include the video for Windows library to include some of these variables. So
excuse me, Santiago. One question.
Yes.
This library comes with the system, with Windows. It's a system library.
Yes. Oh. You don't have to include anything. You just have to include on the header the include Windows library, as I'll show you. And yes, it comes with the system.
Wow, it's nice.
It's a little bit outdated. That's the thing. But
I can imagine. Which codec does it use?
I have it right here. Wait, it uses
Cinepack codec, maybe.
Intel EUUV. EYUV. Codec Intel EYUV.
Okay.
I'll show you later because there's a to-do that works with the codec, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Well, I'm going to talk about the variables. The first one is an integer that it's a frame, that is called frame, and it starts at 0. And this is the current frame we want to display from the animation. And as I said, we start at 0 because that's the first frame of any animation. Then we have the PSI structure, that it's a structure that will hold information about the AVI file later in the code. The PAVI, it's a pointer to a buffer that receives the new stream handle once the AVI file has been opened, that we'll use to get information from the AVI that we open. The EGF, it's a pointer to our get frame object. This is what we're going to use to get the information of each frame in the update. Then we have the last frame that will hold the number of the last frame of the animation. So this way we know when the animation has finished and how many frames that it has to produce to get to the last frame. The width and height are self-explanatory things that hold the dimensions of the AVI file, the width and the length and the height. And pdata, it's a pointer to the image returned after we get the frame animation from the AVI. So this is where we transform the PGF into a surface with a function that we'll show later on that includes the library. So with this information, we will be able to transform it into a bitmap and later on into a texture. And the last int, MPF, it's used to calculate how many milliseconds each frame is displayed for. This is, okay. So, well, here I go through the different to-dos that you have to do. The first one, it is to call the initialize function inside the scene. Well, you can call it wherever you want, but I think it's much easier to handle all this type of information inside the scene. So what you have to do is use the initialize function and calling the path to the video. That it's this is the solution. This is what it's called inside of the assets list, the video. The to-do two would be to open a stream frame from the AVI. This is where we use the video for Windows library with the different functions. We use the AVI stream open from file. That the first parameter is a pointer to a buffer that receives the stream handle. So it is the, as I said before, the PIB variable. The second parameter is the path to the file. As I said, this function, this all is inside the open AVI function that it's inside the initialize function. So this path will be sent by the initialize function.
Okay. So please, can you go back to do one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Actually, the open AVI it's inside the initialize. So.
Yes, I later on I can show you on the code, but yes, the open AVI it's inside the initialize function, and you pass the this path.
Okay, and you are streaming, right? The data.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm.
I mean, okay. Let's continue. Yeah.
Okay. I was, the second parameter, as I said, it's the path. The third parameter is the type of stream we want to open. In this case, it is stream type video. And the fourth parameter is which video stream we want. In this case, is 0, and the rest are RGB masks. In the case that you don't want any RGB masks, you want to reproduce the video normally, you set these values to 0. And the second part of this to do is to, in the close AVI function, to release the stream using the function AVI stream release. Well, whenever we want to do a cleanup of the video, we delete this information. Here we have to do 3. That is where we decompress the video frames from the AVI file and transform it into the different frames. We use the function AVI stream frame open. This function returns a pGetFrame object. That means that we have to use the variable that we create, I showed you before, the pGetFrame. And the second parameter, it's a parameter that selects the best display format, as I understand it. It's a little bit complicated, but that's what it does. It selects the best display format. And the to-do 4 has to do with the limitations of my video player, as it can only play videos that have been encoded with this codec, codec Intel EYUV. So the way that you can prepare this video, there's a lot of software options that let you change the codec.
Santiago, how big is the generated video?
How big is what, sorry?
How big is the generated video with that codec?
I'm not sure. I can later on look it up, but I didn't.
I've been taking a quick look, and it seems that it's an uncompressed data codec. I mean, you're getting the full size of every frame. So that should be big. Yeah, huge.
If that's the case, that should be big, and that's not something that we want. Yeah, my bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I like the implementation, and yeah, it's a great work, really. Yeah, continue.
Okay. Well, in this to-do, I don't have Adobe Premiere in this computer. That is the software that I use to change the codec options, but it's really simple. you would go to the video that you have and you export it. And in the export options, you have the codec, a codec selection option, and you would select simply this codec. That step is really simple. If anyone has any doubts about it, I can explain you later on. I can explain you. But as I said, there's a lot of ways that you can change the codec with different software. I use Adobe Premiere because I knew a little bit about it, and that's pretty much it. But most video software editing can change the codec type. So in 2.5 we create the surface and the texture, and then we free this information later on in this to-do. So this is where we would bleed the info, where we would get the texture from the PG, from the get frame object. So we create a surface using the bitmap data we have above this to do and create. I can later on show you on the code exactly how this works.
Santiago, are you creating a new surface and a new texture every frame?
But yes, and I'm in the same to do. I'm unloading and freeing this surface.
Wow. That's very inefficient, actually.
I realized that, but I didn't know how to get around this thing. So that's how I implement it. But yeah, that doesn't sound nice to create a texture every update.
Did it work?
Well, yes, it does. Yeah.
Wow.
I can later on show you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Well, the last to do would be to play the audio of the video as the video is playing. So in the initialize function, you would call the audio of the video.
And you got the audio in a separate file.
Yes, I do actually.
And you play both things at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. That's not the standard way of doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I bet that there are some old games that are doing something similar. I bet. I'm quite sure. That's a very well. That's not the right way to do things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The thing is that I found different ways to implement video playing inside the SDL, but some of them were really tricky, and my programming knowledge, I didn't even understand half of it. I tried, but include a lot of libraries that I didn't comprehend. So I chose this version that I could kind of understand most of it.
Don't worry, Santiago. Really, you did a great job.
Es muy lenta. Yo siempre que voy más
So that would be the end of the presentation. I can show you how the video playing works. I have it here. This is the code.
It's quite contained. Oh,
los únicos personajes con los que me pasa bajas, teniendo en cuenta que yo no he jugado prácticamente nada After It, porque cuando me lo compré sencillamente desapareció.
Well, nothing special about this video. And you can reproduce it by pressing one.
Rushé con Azazel porque quería Lilith. Quería Lilith con toda mi alma.
And
y con Isaac.
You cannot press it more than once. I'm pressing one right now. The audio it's working, but I'm sure you cannot hear it because I have headphones on. But yeah, the audio is working.
Con todo, ya.
And yeah, that's how it works.
Can you check the size of the file?
¿Quiénes te faltan? Yeah. Forgotten.
Because it's 140.
En plan, te refieres a todo el mapa.
This is the one. Well, I cannot reproduce it because it uses the
database de close it. Just want to see the size. It's 84 megabytes, and that's 5 seconds, kind of. Actually, yeah, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, it's big.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah, it is, it is.
Pena, tío,
For
18
just 5
páginas.
seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds, almost 100 megabytes.
Mhm.
Bueno, 18 páginas.
That's quite big. Okay, something else?
No, if you have any questions,
Can you navigate down the code? Just,
yes, sure.
Me
a
queda
bit to-
células
Well,
satélite y
I can show you first
vainas
the
de miel.
header file, the different functions that I
let me
use.
see the included. Go up. No,
Yo juego al Minecraft.
first.
No he hecho mucho, pero
here,
bueno, he
show
hecho un poquillo, he hecho la granja
VFW. Then
Yeah.
VFW.
de la snapshot.
Video for Windows.
No podemos, no está el Realms todavía.
Okay. Yeah.
Dices un server con Hamachi.
I imagine that's an old library.
¿Cómo lo hace?
Yes, it is, yes.
The old library.
Os digo porque, de verdad,
go
me lo estoy pasando bien.
The-
Y con esta sí que tengo,
Just
lo bueno es que
see the
tengo como una
code
trampa de
of the-
esqueletos a la cual voy a
of the
farmear
class.
muy fuerte. Cuando la
Yeah,
todavía no lo he hecho.
one question
Voy a mear,
here.
me estoy meando vivo.
On the PGF,
Yes,
the PGF, it's the frame. It's a pointer to the frame.
yes.
Oh, P-data. How you convert from the PGF to P-data? That's the point.
This is not something that I have on the to-dos because I think it's really convoluted to understand, but
Yeah, okay.
we do it in here.
Yeah?
Here
Okay.
it's where the magic happens, kind of. We transform the get frame into the
Just let me
Yes.
check that code. Okay. So you get the frame.
and well, here is where we would the other function, the open ABI, where we would stream get.
Okay.
And this is the ABI get
Te lo digo, lo
grab
tengo
ABI
abierto
frame.
todavía.
So this is what
20W17.
happens in every update. So in here we transform each frame that we sum.
20W17.
Wait a second. I'm just checking.
Por cierto, al final
Yes.
farmé.
Okay. Oh, so
en el cofre me tocó
actually
el
you
demoníaco.
get the data. You
Ahí.
are only skipping the header
Está bastante chula.
from
No te voy a mentir.
the other pointer. Oh, so LP bitmap info header.
Qué bien.
Oh, come on. Oh wow. You are doing pointer magic here. Okay.
Well, this part, to be fair, I don't really understand it a lot because I followed
video
for Windows.
Me toca ayudar a mi hermano a hacer unas
The
cosas de cargar.
LPBY file that
O sea,
you are
que estoy
getting.
haciendo una run.
Well, the
y
pointer
supongo
actually
que-
it's a pointer to
incluso
data.
antes de que
You are
acabes
just
el-
casting the pointer
el este, porque supongo que yo a
to a
las 12 y
chat,
algo ya habré acabado.
get
eso
a
porque
byte write
estemos
in a
más de
raw
una
mode,
hora para
and then
llevar
you
unos
jump
sacos abajo, llevar
the
unos sacos
pointer
para garaje.
some,
O sea que
well, the header space, and you go directly to the data point. It's quite
estás
simple.
haciéndote ahí una buena.
No.
¿Cómo se llama, tío?
No
Estás
big
haciendo ahí una
magic.
buena breaking
Can
run,
you
ahí,
go a bit
totocha.
Breaking
down?
Run dudo
Estoy
que
aquí.
consiga hacer, pero bueno, es lo que hay.
Tío, pues lo que sea, tío. Hazte unas runs con.
This is where
Okay,
we.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
tienes
yeah.
con el host.
Here you can see that I have an integer that I declared here.
Sí,
that
enséñame
one,
el host.
That's
Digo, en
super.
el- en el
That's
directo
super
¿Qué tengo que enseñar?
slow. It should be
De los
super
que
slow
tienes
that
con el host.
function.
Todo. O sea, todo
Well,
el.
you have a
el
supercomputer
Platinum
probably, or well,
Vale,
yeah,
vale,
well,
eso no
Well, no,
tienes.
the laptop is
Vale,
actually
no tienes
bad.
a. Pero
but
tienes el
that
Gridier.
performance
¿no?
should be very bad.
Ah, no, ese no es el Gridier.
Sí, es el Gridier, sí.
Eh,
también.
es el Gridier,
go
es
down.
el
El Gridier lo tengo con todos menos con los que no he jugado.
This is
Yeah,
where.
here you know.
Te falta Hash y Megasatan. Que no sé si sabes que Megasatan antes.
This is
El
just the
puto Megasatan
title.
antes no
Yeah,
tenía
yeah,
un
yeah.
icono. En
Yeah, okay,
el
it's
Rebirth.
okay, it's okay.
Lo saben, ¿no?
Yeah.
Ya lo sé, ya.
Ah,
It's
here
a,
I have
it's a
my clothes
Pues
simple
que
and-
me lo pasé con
Actually,
Delos
it's nice,
pensando que
but it's
estaba el este.
a very simple
Y cuando me di cuenta de que
implementation
no
that
estaba,
just
bueno.
works.
Yes,
No
that's
tenía
the
ni-
thing.
Yo
That I wanted to implement
yo
something that I
Megasatan,
could.
creo que me la
kind
propuse
of
con alguno.
understand,
Te daban
because I saw
un
a lot of
de Steam y un
implementations
Baby.
that
No,
included
it's-
things
O
that
sea,
were
claro,
out
porque
of
yo tengo
my
ese,
scope,
yo tengo ese
so
baby y ese logro de Steam, pero mis,
No,
mis colegas,
it's very good, really.
porque
so
tenían
it's
tenían la
really
esta de que yo era
good.
malísimo en el ISA,
Eh,
cuando, mentira, yo
well,
me volví, me
is
jugué
that
muy fuerte al
everything?
ISA.
No
Something?
sé, yo
Yes,
solo creo.
that's everything. If you have any
No, pues
questions,
no.
De hecho,
anyone,
podemos
I
jugar, ahora
can-
que lo pienso, se
Anyone,
puede
do you
jugar
have any
al
questions?
a la
I got
Isaac con el
some,
Remote Play
but
Together.
first
Okay.
let's see
Sí,
if the
porque
class.
está el baby este de mierda.
and ask
Quiero ver ese
something.
baby, a ver si lo tienes de verdad.
People, hello, are you there?
Tronco, te enseño mis putos logros. Yo qué sé, tío, te enseño mis putos logros, a ver. Y si no te enseño mis capturas de pantalla, que me saqué una puta captura de pantalla de que Megas de la calavera de Megas están cayendo yo con Delos, ¿sabes? Que me estaba cagando en mis muertos porque me había quitado el Holy Mantle. Me estaba cagando en mis muertos, obviamente me lo hice con Holy Mantle porque roleé hasta que me salió Holy Mantle porque dije yo, bueno. De macho tampoco podemos hacer nada. Y creo que también, no sé si en aquella conseguí la llave de papá o me tuve que comer a los 2 putos ángeles, no me acuerdo. ¿Dónde puedo mirar mis capturas de pantalla? Sociedad. Dos logros en Isaac Rebirth. Betrayal.
That's a good question. Why can't we use that if the video is
¿dónde
bigger
está, tío?
than the game?
Capturas.
Yeah.
Las más antiguas. Hostia, está
I can explain you the problem with H264. The problem is,
el día que
as I
Isaac se volvió
said,
un juego de casos, es un normal.
patterns. So it's basically a legal problem.
Yeah.
The patterns means like the way that it's implemented, the way that the codec is used. So if you create a patent that it's already used and you don't pay for that license, you would get in trouble.
Creo que me cuenta los de Afterbirth. ¿Cómo se llama el bebé?
And the thing is that there are a lot of different patents,
Everything
and
is terrible,
there's a way to
leaves,
have like a patent
Mom's
pool.
contract,
That means that you can
Necronomicon,
own
Basement
a lot of
Boys,
patents
Bunker Boy,
by
Dark
just
Boy,
one
Mom's Boy,
license.
Golden God,
But
Mom's Knight, The Razor, One
Actually,
Guardian Angel,
the
Bajo Guns, Baby,
H264 it's covered by several hundred patents.
Blood Penny, Blood Rise,
Several hundred patents.
Yeah, a lot of patents.
That's kind of crazy.
¿Tú juegas con teclado ratón?
I mean, you can use it for your game.
Nice.
Actually, there are some games that are using the H264.
I tried to look for examples, but I couldn't find any that use.
No, actually, there are some games that use it, but those games have paid all the licenses to use it. It's similar to MP3 in
Viene dentro de jugar de LOL.
Viene dentro del paquete de LOL, te suele no recibir daño.
Pasarte esto, a no ser que tengas el gato de 9 vidas, que entonces, pues oye, puedes recibir daño, pero por lo general, no.
Creo que no me tocó 9 vidas en aquella run.
Yo una de estas runs, yo me acuerdo, me pasé la Borras, me la pasé sin Holy Mantle.
Fraunhofer.
Aquí tengo todos los bebés. Lost Baby. Cute Baby. Crow Baby.
Lost Baby, a ver si es ese. No sé, porque yo creo que no me lo conseguí cargar. ¿Dónde se ven los babies?
En los logros.
I think that's the company that has the licenses.
Co-op.
For the
Rebirth Babies.
MP3 and MP4 and everything, so
Lost Baby.
Unlocked a Neuco Play. No, Lost Baby creo que no es.
No es.
Bueno, voy a mirar.
Well, actually, that's the company that has all the patents for these kind of things.
No parece que otro. No parece.
Wait a second.
Hay un montón de bebés, tío. Te la polla, tío.
White Baby.
Oh, baby. Tengo el Low Baby, sí que lo tengo, ¿no? Sí, pero es que Low Baby no es.
Te estoy diciendo.
El Low Baby es mamá. No cuenta. Mom's... No, ninguno de vencer a Megasatan. Todos son de vencer a Mom's Heart.
I'm trying to find the link.
White Baby.
The licensing for the H264.
¿Qué pasa con White Baby?
Se llama White Baby el que desbloquea.
A ver si lo tengo.
Where is it? Cannot find it right now, but yeah, actually, I cannot find the exact place.
No lo tengo, tendría que volver a hacerlo. Okay.
Containing that information, but actually, you have to pay for using the H264. And actually there is a better option right now that it's the
Rolear
H265.
hasta tener a
Yes.
The Lost.
Okay.
Hasta rolear hasta tener Holy Mantle y ya está.
Yeah, it's
De
the
los te
next
empieza con Holy
comic.
Mantle.
No si nos toca el
Okay,
modo
just
grid.
questions, anyone? No questions, no one? Hello,
Si nos,
hello.
si nos toca el modo grid, pues entonces empieza con nada. No, el de 4.
Victor, no questions. Okay. I got some questions.
Esto no me pasa nada con
Santi,
nadie. No está muy bien eso.
first, probably you
After
commented
with Babies,
it, but
muy bien, vale. Ok,
just
boomer. Son
what are the
son los
benefits
del
of
After
using
pues nada.
real-time cutscenes over
Este
using
videojuego no
pre-rendered
me va a dejar decir
cutscenes?
que me carga
You
con
just
The Lost.
you said
Hasta que
one
no lo haga,
benefit,
habiendo pagado más dinero.
but
Habiendo pagado más dinero.
can you
Ok.
tell us some of the benefits?
Yeah. Okay, so well, the first
Godhead,
big
baby, mola
one,
un
as
montón.
I said through the whole presentation, video playing
Y eso te
video games
cundiría
is
porque
very
te da el
complicated,
te da el Goat
just-
Head de gratis.
just to comment. But as I said, it's more immersive for the player, as the
Está bastante
doesn't change
guapo eso. Creo que ese
the
es mi hermano que
scenery
ya le ha
of
llegado a la
the
movida.
game. I mean, it doesn't change the art style,
Yeah.
and you can.
Vale, bajo a ayudar y subo y
As
hacemos
I
esto, ¿vale?
said in the example of the video, for example, the character clothes, you can get information from what is happening on the game, and as you are rendering, you have information of what is happening inside of our game, so you can create your own video as with the unique features. How do I say it? Unique features that are happening in that moment of the gameplay. I'm not sure if I explained that correctly. Well, but yes, that would be it. The benefits of having.
Yeah, well, actually, Angel also commented some benefit that you don't have to deal with video
Yes,
files.
yes, of course.
That's it.
True.
And you don't have to deal with the legal aspects or
Yes.
and the licensing of a codec or these kind of things. That's an important thing. And today, considering that most companies have invested a lot of resources in custom engines, in really big custom engines with a lot of tooling, it could make sense to just use that technology to create the cinematics, right? What are the downsides of doing that? What are the benefits of using pre-rendered cutscenes instead of rendering real-time cutscenes?
The downside of using pre-rendered.
The other way around. Why could it be better to use pre-rendered cutscenes?
Yeah, well, yes, as Angel is telling, the no frame drops, and also that because you're not rendering
no frame drops. Actually, that's
the
not
quality. Yes, also Rami said the video quality is much higher as you are not using the CPU or any hardware at the moment to create that video. So the quality can be whatever you want, almost.
Yeah. Well, actually, there is one big benefit of using pre-rendered videos. Not only, but yeah, obviously the quality is one of the important points. But there is another benefit that you can outsource very easily that part of the development in comparison to real-time cutscenes. Okay, creating a real-time cutscenes requires a lot of work. And a specialized team inside the company that can manage should be able to manage the engine and create the cutscenes. Okay, but for pre-rendered videos, you usually can outsource some external company that makes the video for you, and you just get the video as a final contained file to integrate in your code. So it's easier for lots of companies to just create a very shiny video that later on they can also use for promotional purposes, for marketing and everything, instead of creating in-game cutscenes that usually could take a lot of work and lot of resources. Yeah, that's from a production point of view, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I personally prefer, at least for the last 10 years, I prefer the real-time cutscenes. By the way, they are usually called in-game cinematics.
Okay.
That's another name. It's
Uh-huh.
in-game cinematics or EGC. AGC.
Okay.
Yeah. In-game cinematics. Yeah, that's the benefits. It's not easy to implement, as you say. Yeah, it was very nice, the detailed explanation about the codecs and the containers, because that's usually a concept that people mix, and it's important to know that it's very different. That
Yes.
one thing it's the codec and another it's the container. You can have.
Because as I
not-
showed an example, I tried to play the ABI file. I have two ABI files, but one of them I cannot reproduce it, and one I can because one of them was coded with.
Yeah, that's it.
Coded
That's
with a
it.
different codec. So yeah, that's very important.
Yeah. Some things that were missing in the presentation, the Theora codec today,
Okay.
it's a quite important one, and actually it's a license free, and it's open source and it's free.
Okay.
And that's actually, I think that Unity is still integrating it. Let me just a quick check. I think so. Wow. I think that they integrate Theora, but they are also integrating the BP8, the Google codec, at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I have to double check it. But in the past, the standard was Theora in Unity. Okay. Okay. Wait a second. There is a question from Mark. I have a question. How hard it is to implement a video into the game? I mean, from the point of view of making the video that you won't be able to replay it in the code. Sorry, Mark. What do you?
I think he means the production of the video in itself, like the ABI file, like how creating that cutscene that you are rendering on another computer.
Well, yeah, it's expensive to. No, I mean, now that you talk about the code, that didn't work. Well, actually, it's not that complicated. You only have to make sure that you create the video and you code it with a supported codec. For example, Theora, it's a video codec that you can use, and they also offer free libraries to just integrate it in your game. Actually, the code example that you show, Santiago, it's very nice because it's just that actually. Okay, you are using a very old codec, but it would be kind of the same with any other codec integration. But there are some bits missing over there that are extremely important that I'm going to comment now.
Okay.
Wait, there is another. Okay, but that's what I didn't understand correctly about the codec. How do we modify it? How do we know which codec are we using? Oh, Mark, you know, actually, you know. You got the libraries for that codec. I mean, probably you won't get any library to be able to read an H.264 if you are not paying to the people that create those libraries. That's it. I mean, you can create a H.264 video with some rendering software, but then you won't be able to play it in your game. That's simple. That's it. Oh, where do you see the codec a video is using? That's a good question. Yeah, usually you only have the container. That could be an AVI, or it could be an MP4, or it could be an MKB. There are different containers, and it's very difficult to see. Well, it's very difficult. You usually are not aware of the code used by the video. There are some programs like VLC Player. You know VLC Player?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. There is, when you open a video with it, there is a new video information option over there that gives you the information about the codec used in the video, and also the codec used in the audio. And that's the other important thing that I wanted to comment, because you didn't comment it, Santiago, in the presentation, and it's also very important. I know that the presentation was only about video playing, but usually video and audio are interlaced in the container. So you have a video stream or multiple video stream in the same container, but also you have an audio stream or multiple audio streams.
But I think I explained it that on the presentation, and I said...
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, you commented it, but you didn't got into detail in the audio. I mean,
yeah,
you didn't talk about audio codecs or
no,
how
I didn't
audio
comment
is
on
placed
audio.
inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You commented it. I got.
Okay.
I took note about it. Yeah. Inside the container, you got the audio stream and you got the video stream. And video stream are using some codec for the video, but audio is also using some codec for the audio. Another one. Yeah, that's it. So when you want to play a video, you have to do several things. First of all, you have to decode the video frames to show the video frames, right? But you also have to decode the audio frames and show the audio frames. And where is the big problem here? The most difficult part from a programming perspective. What is the most difficult part about that? What do you think?
Well, I believe that, yeah.
And you didn't talk about that. That's it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I didn't.
It's complex, but there is one part that it's extremely complex.
About the decoding, well, as you said, there are different codecs, but I also believe the synchronization of the video and audio.
That's it, Santiago. Perfect.
Synchronization, yes.
Yeah,
I don't have
you're
problems
right.
with that because as I'm not separating the audio in different frames, I just play like the audio. That's why I don't have like a pause option on my video player. It's just like play the.
Yeah. But in that example, it could work. But if you have a longest video, that's not the way to do things actually.
No, yeah, absolutely not. Yeah.
Synchronization. That's the point. Synchronization is the most difficult part when you are programming about video playing. Synchronization, because after all, just getting the frame from a video stream, it's kind of straightforward, like you show in the code, and getting a frame from the audio stream, it's also kind of straightforward. The problem is synchronization between those two things, and actually it's really difficult. It's not only there are different techniques to synchronize the audio with the video. Sometimes it's based in timestamps. Timestamps in the you see that metadata just in the slide that you have open. Metadata. Usually that metadata contains information telling you that at certain frame, video frame, you have to be reproducing certain audio frame.
Okay.
And you keep receiving, you got a list of like key points that are required to synchronize a video with the audio. Yeah?
Okay.
But that's just a technique. You got several other techniques for synchronization that are are more complex, based in predictive mechanisms, and yeah, it's really complex, the synchronization, really complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that point because you didn't explain it. Yeah, it was very interesting that you talk a bit about the decoding hardware right now. Especially the mobile devices have integrated decoding hardware to decode the frames. Why you need decoding hardware? Why you need hardware specific for decoding needs? What do you think? Well, I tell you, it's easy.
Yeah, I can think of it right now. So yeah, tell me.
Yeah, no worry. Because decoding a frame, decoding a single frame, it's really costly. It's a really costly operation. Decoding and decompressing a single frame to be shown, it's extremely costly. And today we are already moving to 4K videos and probably soon to 8K videos. And decoding that single image, it's a really costly operation. Keep in mind that most of the encoding schemes, most of the encoding mechanisms used right now, but for example the H.264, are based in predictive mechanisms. I mean, you check the previous frames to encode the current frame. Do you understand?
Okay.
So you for every frame you are just keeping a small piece of data of that frame because you rely on data from previous frames. Did I explain myself?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I understand.
Did anyone understood me? Hello? I'm explaining how compression and encoding works. Okay. Just explaining. I just explained how compression works. I mean, you are not compressing the individual images for the video. Actually, you are compressing the data that changes between a sequence of images. That's it. And actually, another point to note here that, well, that I know that's a complex topic. Be careful because it's not the same encoding that compressing. Usually, encoding implies compressing, but it doesn't have to. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Be careful because here you say that it's a compressor, and that could not be a compressor. Usually an encoder compresses data, but doesn't have to. I mean, you can encode data, but not compress data.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's a detail to
yes,
keep in mind.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, very good question, Jordi. That's a very good question. Okay. Because that's part of the process. I mean, how do you check the changes on previous frames? It's already compressed, because it doesn't work that way. It's not a process that compresses every frame in an individual way. And same for, encoding and decoding. Encoding and decoding processes do not work on a frame basis. I mean, it depends on multiple frames of the sequence. That's it. I mean, when you compress the video frames, the process of encoding considers multiple frames to generate the following frame. That's it. And the same from decoding. Decoding one frame considers the previous frames to give you the current frame. That's it. Yeah, that's it. More things that I got here on the list to comment. Yeah, I really like the API that you designed. It was very simple, and yeah, it was nice. Actually, I designed a similar API a while ago. Oh, you didn't comment another codec that is the MPEG.
MPEG.
Yeah, it was one of the basic video codecs from, yeah, it's quite old, but the benefits of that one is that all the patents had already, yeah, it's...
The thing is that I misunderstood maybe I looked into MPEG, but I didn't know if it was referring to the same one as H264.
Yeah, actually the H264, it's the name they give for MPEG4 ABC.
Okay.
It's kind of an abbreviation, just that. But that is MPEG4. Okay, MPEG1, it's the license is expired, so you can use it freely right now. MPEG1.
Okay.
And maybe MPEG2 also. I think, not sure. Yeah, that's it. The MPEG1, it's free for use today. And actually, I implemented a small video player in C for MPEG1 a month ago or so. Yeah, 2 months ago, I think. Yeah, actually, let me check, because it's probably around. Let me check, wait a second. Guillem, no, it's not a feature, because video is so complex that I prefer to keep it as a separate example. Here I'm sharing with you a small C library that it's able to decode MPG video and MP2 audio. And then in the issues, yeah, here. Here, you can check this link right now. This next link, that one. You see the link? Yeah, that's it. Here, I just implemented. Yeah, that's it. The video, audio decoding, and the synchronization, and synchronization of both. For it's a small example. If you go down, Santi, in that example. In the update, I'm just reading here, yeah. Well, that's the timing things is for the synchronization, but actually, do you see where I say decode video frame?
Yes.
I just decode a video frame, and I skip frames if the timing is not synchronized with the audio. That's a mechanism usually used. You keep decoding frames, and if the time is not synchronized, you skip some of the frames. Okay, that's a standard mechanism. And yeah, and then I got a function that is called update texture that just updates the texture in memory. Oh, yeah, that's the other point I wanted to comment.
The texture.
That's it. Go there. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, here.
I didn't know how to.
That's it. Here you are creating the surface and creating the texture every frame.
Yes.
That could be really costly. That could be really low performance. The right way to do that, and actually not only that, you are creating the surface, creating the texture, and bleeding the texture. Wow.
Yeah, all in the same.
That's extremely inefficient. Actually, the right way would be just you have a base texture previously created, a base surface previously created, right?
Okay.
You just update the data in the texture. That's the right way. You just update the texture and you keep drawing the same texture instead of recreating the surface and the texture every frame.
I create. Okay.
Yeah. That's a small detail actually, but okay.
And about the rendering function, it's something that could be improved, as you said, or
what?
You commented on the rendering function that you said it's also inefficient, the bleeding.
Yeah. Well, it's an SDL thing.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, bleed was the name for moving some data to the screen in the 80s and the 90s. Okay, it was called data bleeding or screen bleeding. SDL, it's 22 years old and still keeps the API from that time. Yeah. Some of the naming conventions from the functions, I think it's not the best one today, because things work in a very different way today. I mean, we have hardware accelerated systems. And that library was designed in a moment where there was no hardware acceleration. But well, yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay.
That's how it goes. Still, it's quite surprising to see that how powerful are computers today, that doing that in that way that should be quite inefficient, it works.
Yeah, it works actually.
Fluently. And it's amazing. It's amazing. That's because computers today are super powerful. And yeah, that's it. Let me check, see if I got something. Buttons. It was nice that you mentioned the WP8, the free video codec from Google. Video player. Okay. Just one thing about the Bing video. You mentioned Bing Video.
Yes, Bing Video.
Bing Video today, it's kind of the standard in the world of video games. Actually, it's developed by a kind of a small company. Just a detail, I know actually some of the people working in that company. It's usually, it's a company with genius. All the people working there are kind of genius. And that's probably the reason that Big Video is used as the de facto standard in all video games today, because it's so good. Actually, the company it's called Rat Game Tools, R-A-D, Rat Game Tools, and they got a bunch of amazing technology. Let me share with you. Rat Game Tools. Rat Game Tools. They are they are amazing. Actually. They really have an amazing technology. They also have, for example, the telemetry and Udel Kraken. Actually, it's a compression technology. Are you seeing the web?
Well,
Can you open the web?
Yeah, for sure.
You here they have Bing, but if you go down, they recently released Udel. If you check Udel, you click on the link of Udel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's data compression algorithms that are impressive actually. They are super fast to decompress and super good in well. That's something that is very important for video games today, because every day video games require way more data. Yeah,
for sure.
And you need well, actually was part of the question, but first I will do the question and then I give you the answer about Bing Video. Why do you think that Bing Video is the standard in video games industry, in professional video games industry? Why?
Well, as I mentioned, I think it's mainly because of the it's very handy. It works on 14 different platforms, and you just pay one license for it. And
no, but from a technical point of view, Santi.
Well, I didn't research that much into it, but I know that it's not very taxing on the CPU and the, as I mentioned. But I don't know exactly the details on why it's not.
That's one reason. That's one reason. Anyone, people, are you listening to us? Can you do you know why Bing is the standard? Why Bing is so good? There is especially one reason. Very good, Adrian. No, not really. Mark, not really. The logo, Guillem. Thanks for your contribution. Not really. Do you think it has a very good compression?
Well, I guess no, so because it's so used. I guess that it's fully optimized in that aspect. I'm not sure. I didn't.
I mean, do you think that Bing Video generates the smaller files, so that's so popular? Do you think that could be the reason? That when you compress a video using Bing technology, you get a really small file?
Well, that could be it, but I'm sorry, but I don't know the answer. But I guess that optimizing the space and the size of your files, it's really important. So if you're going to lose a lot of videos...
but today, not the smaller, but the compression loss ratio must be the best. Yeah, that's good, David. Very good answer. Yeah. It's not the best compression, but it's a quite good compression with very high quality.
Okay.
But the key actually is not that one. You know what's the key? The key is just the other way around. The compression time. That's what really it's really important for a video game developer. You don't mind if it takes a long time to compress, or if the file is smaller or bigger. You care for the quality, and you care for the time required to decompress every frame. That's the key. Think about it. when you are running the game, the most important thing for you is how fast you can decompress every frame to be able to do other things. That's the key feature of the Bing video. Actually, if you go back to the web page, Santi.
Yes.
About the other, here. No, it's okay. It's okay here. Udel, it's a new compression mechanism that it's also very, very good. And you read here Udel Kraken, yeah.
Here.
The next PS5 includes a hardware Kraken decompressor. PS5 includes Udel Kraken decompressor in hardware, a specific microchip designed between AMD and Rat Game Tools, a specific microchip designed to be able to decompress Kraken compressed files by hardware. So you can guess that for the next generation of consoles, most of the PS5 games will use Kraken compression. Okay. That's a big hit for Rat Game Tools. Actually, they are already rich and probably millionaires, but they will become more rich and millionaires. That's it. Yeah, Mark, question. Yeah, compression also encrypts videos. Yeah, that's also a complex question, actually, Mark, because I would say encryption usually implies compression. I mean, when you encode or encrypt a sequence of frames, you usually reduce the size of the overall package, right? But compressing is not the same. You can have several files and compress the files, but you are not losing quality or you are not losing any bit of data. While when encoding, you usually, or you could have a loss of data. So yeah, actually it's a bit tricky concept altogether. Compression, encryption, and encoding. Because encryption usually implies data protection. Keep that in mind. Encryption implies data protection. When you are encoding data, it doesn't have to imply data protection. You are just changing the data to make it smaller or more reliable to be transmitted through a channel. So yeah, that's tricky. I mean, Mark question, how do they do it so that we can just go into the file of the game and get the video file? Yeah, actually here there are several mechanisms, Mark. Wow, that's a complex question. I work on that while in Electronic Arts, because you know that Electronic Arts, don't know if still it is, but in the past, the standard packaging file format was big files, .big files. If you check some Electronic Arts video games, they include a bunch of .big files, big files. And yeah, actually, it has a lot of things involved. It could involve compression and also encryption. But most of the times it's just compression, not encryption. It's similar to a zip file. A zip file usually use a deflate compression but actually there are several compression formats out there, but that's another interesting and long, complex topic to talk about. Actually, tomorrow we are talking about virtual file systems. Probably we will talk a bit about zip files. Is that right, David? Yeah, it is.
Right, Rami.
And yeah, it's quite related also to compression, and yeah, and it could involve some encryption. Yeah, that's it. Don't know if I answer your question more or less, Mark. It's something external. What do you mean it's something external? Okay. Usually in video games, in the professional sector, you are never using or working with the standard file formats that you know. You usually package data into custom file formats. Just keep that in mind. Custom file formats always in the professional world. That's it. You are never dealing with PNG, JPG, PMP, WAV, or this kind of files. Those are only intermediate files. They never go into the final game. How you create that file format? You design it, actually. Check. You design it. Here, that's a file format that I designed. It's not released yet, but here you got an idea how I design it. I designed my own custom file format to package data. That's it. You can take a look. That's it. Well, it's done with code. Actually, you design the file format. You design how all the data will be placed in the file, and then you need to create a program to code that file and a program to decode that file. And also you have to create a tool to put all together. Yeah, it requires some steps, but it's not that difficult actually. Most of the companies do that. Yeah. Actually, well, Santi, I think that we are going out of topic, but never mind. Just we'll finish. So, actually, I wanted to share with you something that I created in the past days. Let me look for it. See it. Okay. Last week I was working on that. I just wrote a small article. Yeah. But yeah, maybe it's interesting for you. It's a market study on companies that are using custom engines for their games and the technology behind those engines. I think that article, go down, Santi.
Yeah.
Go down, just go fast. You can see the people, how many employees those companies have, and you can see some information about those engines that are used. Why that information could be interesting for you? Because today most educational institutions are teaching game development with Unity or even with Unreal. And well, here you are creating your own engines that probably from a technical point of view, they are not as impressive as Unity or Unreal. But you are learning how to create custom engines and how to work with a custom engine. The day of tomorrow, when you go out there and you look for a job, you will see that there are lots of companies, especially the big ones, the big companies, that use custom engines. They don't use Unity, they don't use Unreal, they don't use CryEngine, or they don't use any commercial engine, but they use a custom engine. So just it's very difficult to find that information on the net. Very difficult. Actually, I don't know of any similar article compiling all that information. Just I took the effort to do that list. Actually, that list required that research project. That research project took me some hours. Yeah, actually, it got quite popular in the internet. About 35,000 people saw the article, and lots of companies get in touch with me, small and other big companies. And yeah, they give me some details about the engines and how they do things, and people working on the engines. I try to update everything here. That's it. Actually, some people from DICE and also some people from Rydia Down Studio give me details on their engines. And yeah, that was very nice.
I have one question regarding this topic. It's out of topic also, but
okay,
so
don't worry.
For companies, when you are in a job interview, do they value that you have experience, for example, in Unity or any engine? For a big company, I mean, not for
a big company. From a programming perspective, a big company will always value more than anything that you created a custom engine or you work on a custom engine.
Okay.
Big company. That's super important for them because they work on custom engines. They produce with custom engines. I mean, it's okay if you get some idea from Unity or Unreal, but it's always in a secondary place.
Okay.
So having the experience of have ever worked with a custom engine, or maybe have created a custom engine, that's really super important for the companies. Actually, some days ago, I was talking with a friend of mine that is working in a small company. She was telling me that it was very difficult today to find good programmers. It's extremely difficult to find good programmers because there is a lot of students that go out from a lot of educational institutions, but most of them can only use Unity or Unreal. yeah, there are a lot of companies in the professional sector that use Unity or Unreal, but there are also a huge number of companies that work with custom engines.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, even using Unity or Unreal, sometimes you have to understand how things really work in the very, very deep of the code. Because sooner or later, you will find a bug or an issue that will be more in the deeps of the engine that you have maybe touched in your programming life. So you need to understand it, and you cannot stop the production for, let's say, 5 days just to try to solve an issue. And actually, it happens in a lot of companies today that they face some issues that they are not able to solve, and it could take. Actually, I know a company that it was like 4 months dealing with a single issue with Unity, because they were not able to touch the Unity internals, and that's a disaster for the company. Yeah, that's super good, Angel. Actually, that's super good. Actually, maybe right now you are not aware of how good is all the things that you are learning by dealing directly with the C++ code. Yeah, you will see it in the future. Well, actually, Pau, in Ceph, they should be using some Riley, so they should be coding in some low level. They should be. I don't know what they are doing right now. Yeah, but well, keep in mind that education it's moving towards more artist artist oriented than programmers oriented, actually. Yeah. Instead, here in the UPC, your grade is more oriented to programming, way more oriented to programming. That's nice. That's nice. Well, yeah, you got that article. You can take a look. It's kind of a database for you. You also maybe in the future, if you decide to apply for some of those companies, you can know what technology they are using, or just investigate a bit more on those technologies. Yeah. Questions? Do you have some questions? Keep in mind that those technologies are also based on other frameworks or libraries. So most of the engines are in the internals are using libraries or frameworks like SDL or others. Actually, the most interesting list here, the most interesting list is the last one. If you go down. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. That's the list of the heroes. Go down. Go a bit down. Here you have a lot of engines and games that are created by one person. And yeah, they are amazing. They are amazing. It usually takes several years to do that. Yeah. Mark, yeah, it can change. Actually, it not only can change, it keeps changing. That's the point. Mark, technology keeps changing every day. Actually, if you learn Unity today, probably in 2 years, Unity would be a complete different engine, if it still exists, obviously. And the important thing is to be able to adapt to the changes fast. That's the key. Victor, yes, Sonic Mania engine was built by a single guy, and actually it's quite impressive to read about the history. Maybe I think there is a link to the Wikipedia or something over there, and yeah, it's amazing. Actually, I think it was developed by 2 or 3 persons. Full Sonic Mania. I mean, and considering the graphics and the audio, but the programming and the engine was built by a solo developer. Yeah, Teardown, it's quite new and it's super impressive. Actually, I think it's not released yet, but I added it to the list because it was, wow, super impressive. Actually, there were lots of independent solo developers that write me to explain me his or her stories, and yeah, it was nice. It was it was really great this past week with all that information, because I really enjoy engines, and I really like to know about technology from a very deep point of view. And yeah, I really like to know from different people working on these kind of things, and it was great, really. Receive Arson. Yeah. It happens. Actually, yeah, Unreal, it's taking a big part of the market. Well, actually, with Unity, there are amazing games. Not only Subnautica. Look at Ori. Ori series are amazing. Hollow Knight. Yeah, there is a big list of games made with Unity that are amazing. Yeah. But there are lots of custom engines, actually. It's nice. Oh, Game Maker. Yeah, it's another one. Hotline Miami. Or Iconoclast. You know Iconoclast, Angel? Made with Game Maker. Oh, I know. I think it was Game Maker, or maybe it was Construct. I don't know right now. I think it was Construct, not Game Maker, Iconoclast. Yeah, Godot, it's getting quite popular lately. Unity, it's not a bad engine. It's a very good engine, Unity. Very good, actually. It's just mainstream. Yeah, that's it. Also, just one thing to keep in mind. Some engines like Unity or Unreal are generalist engines. It means that they try to cover all kind of possible games to be developed with them. That requires a lot of features and a lot of possibilities and a lot of tweaking and a lot of things. Most of the times it's easier for the developers just to create a custom engine for the specific game that they are creating. So they can optimize in everything, in the tools, in the engine, and in everything. That's one of the reasons most companies choose to create, or companies or individuals choose to create their own custom engines. No, Konjac use Construct, I think. Well, try to find, if you have some specific problem with Unity, try to find for a solution. 90% of the time, you will find the worst possible solution and the most low performance solution. And that's a problem. Doom Eternal is amazing. Probably one of the best engines that exist today. In terms of technical aspects, probably Doom Eternal engine, it's EDTech 7 actually it's called, is probably one of the best today. Yeah, Enrique, it's like Photoshop. Yeah. It's like that's a problem when you have a lot of people with not much experience using a technology. That people start to teach how they do things, and sometimes it's not the right way of doing things. And then that's all the information you have around. Yeah, Angel, but sometimes it's not that easy. Yeah, Tiago Sousa is the lead engineer of EDTech 7 right now. Yeah, Carmack was the previous one. Yeah, Construct is a nice tool actually. Well, I think we should stop it here now. Santiago, yeah, you can stop sharing the screen because you have been sharing everything. Tomorrow we have another great presentation. It's about virtual file systems and packaging data. Yeah, that's a very interesting topic also. Oh yeah, well, just one thing. Here in the list. Nuria, are you? Yeah, you are doing the presentation about the installer. Yeah, got a question. Would it be possible to move the presentation 1 week? I mean, move for the next week, or it's impossible right now. So it would be actually yeah, moving it to Tuesday 5. No, sorry, Wednesday 6. Okay, just let me know tomorrow if it would be possible, because on Wednesday 6 we got a static code analysis, but I think that the people that should present the static code analysis won't be ready. So it would be nice to move it 1 week. Yeah, Enrique, I was showing that document at the beginning. Yeah, I showed that document at the beginning. I'm waiting for Mark to review the points. Yeah, I'm showing you again. Yeah, this is the document. Here you got the already done checkpoints, and here you have the new checkpoints. But I'm waiting a bit for Mark to review it. I'll try to, well, hopefully it will be ready in the following days. Yeah, but actually it's mostly some of the missing points from the global checklist. Yeah, but probably Mark will add some elements in the gameplay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay, don't worry, Nuria. It was just to complete it and have some days available from additional presentations that I can do about some topics if you want. That's it. So don't worry, really, Nuria. If not possible, static code was some of the guys that never comes to class. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we are out of time, completely out of time. We should stop it here right now. Okay. Thank you very much for coming to class. Santiago, thank you very much for your presentation.
You're welcome.
It was really amazing. I really liked it, really. Yeah, tomorrow we are continuing with the next presentation about assets manager and virtual file systems with PSFS. Yeah, thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Lemon Party. Friends till the end.